Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are, another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning at 1 a.m. in London. It's 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live, a program where we get together each week at this time. We get involved in conversation and we have a lot of fun. And of course, we invite all of you to join us because you're going to be part of the show. We want you to exchange your ideas and opinions along with us. We're coming direct from New York City. That's where we originate. And if you're with us for the whole hour, we're going to promise you a lot of fun. Now, anywhere you are around the world, it doesn't matter. We're global. And this way, wherever you are, as long as you have good Wi-Fi and a hotspot, we're on the air. And tell your family and friends about us because we want to get them involved in too. And getting you involved is very, very easily. For those of you who have been around a long time, you already know the protocol. So let me take a little time right now to talk to people who are possibly new to the show. When we come on the air each week, look at your time zone because you may be in a different time zone than me. And whatever that clock says, that's what time we come on in your area each week. We get you involved. All you have to do is type in, use your keyboard on your computer, your phone, or your tablet. Type in whatever you want to talk about it. I will see right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of opinions and ideas. And of course, if there's something in particular that you want to talk about, any news of the day that you want to talk about, or anything at all, or any subject at all, as long as it's clean, of course, we're going to talk about it right here. We'll give you the opportunity and this platform to let you do that. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, because that's where we are, those are our three platforms, and anyone will get you there. And if you're watching us on Facebook, take the time to tag all of your friends. Let them know that we're out there. You can do that. While we're here, you don't have to skip a beat. All you have to do is just tag them and let them know that we're out here. They'll see that tag coming from you, and they'll know it's from you, and they'll click onto that tag, and it instantly brings them right here where we are. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to go onto my YouTube channel. If you're there right now, I want you to subscribe to it. Right? If you haven't done it thus far, you've been around a long time, you haven't done it thus far, well, this is a good time to do it, right? And all you have to do is just take your mouse and drag it over there where it says subscribe, point that arrow right there and click it on, and that's all it takes. It takes nothing to join. There's no money involved, no nothing, no teacher's note, no nothing, because it's free. Just click it on and it's right there. And the reason why we want to have you click on to our YouTube channel is because, first of all, we want to see how many people are really following us. And of course, we hope that it's you and a lot of people. We want to get all of that information because more the merrier. And the more of you guys out there, the better it is for us. The other good reason is that now that you clicked on and you're a full-fledged member, you'll get a chance to know whenever we come on live. You'll get that instant notification. A lot of people forget about the show. You're on the, you're on the internet, right? And you're doing something, whatever you're doing, and all of a sudden you see this instant message because you got it from us. And the reason why you got it from us is because you clicked on and you became a full-fledged member by subscribing to us. And each week, whether we come on the air live or we post something, any activity that goes on, you'll get instant notification. And of course, you can do it that right now and just click onto that notification and it brings you directly to the page. It's as simple as that. So we want you to do that right now. Would you please do that? Don't delay, do it right now while it's fresh in your mind. And this way, you won't have anything to worry about the next time around. Now, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, there's nothing much to do except just to keep the word percolating. Let everyone know that we're out here and share it with them. And for those of you who tag, you know how to tag us on Facebook. For those of you who are on YouTube and Instagram, what you might want to do is cut and paste our link, right? And just send it to your friends. That's a good way of doing it too. Just cut and paste the link, send it to them. They'll see it, they'll click it, and it'll bring them right here. Just as simple as that. All right. So we look forward to you, and we're depending on you to do that. We're going to be here for a whole full hour, as I said, and of course we have other things that we do in conjunction with talking to you. We have our regular routine. For instance, just a few minutes from now, right in this particular half hour from now, we're going to have Brian Camp come along. He's going to come along directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to link up with him, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update, and he'll be updating all of us on what's happening. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot to talk about, but we'll find out when he gets here. And you can ask questions. If you have any sports-related questions, you can ask him. He'll be here, and he'll be able to answer the questions for you. And if he doesn't have the answer at that particular moment, of course, he can always get the answer, but you will get the answer one way or the other. So that's coming up too. We look forward to seeing you. And you can see him right here on camera if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, right here on camera, right? You'll get a chance to see him. However, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, it's not the same thing. We don't have that luxury of having him on camera, but you can hear him. You'll hear his voice, and you can still talk to him at the same time too as well. Nothing changes. That's the only thing that's different, is that you don't get the chance to see him, but you'll hear his voice. You can hear everything he's talking about. So as he does in sports, you'll hear all of that. But for the rest of you, you'll get a chance to hear him and meet him. Okay, later on in the program too, we've got this day in history. There's a lot of things that happen on this day in history on the 30th of May, because that's where we are right now. We're almost close to the end, the 30th of May. And something happened on the 30th of May. We'll find more about that as we give you this day in history. That's coming up too. And also, before the show is over, we're going to do our thing that we do very, very well, is to give you all of those movies that you like. I'm pretty sure that you like those classic movies, and I have them, my picks of the week for your weekend. Yes, the weekend is coming up. How fast it goes by, right? It's coming up once again. It's going fast because now we have a short week here. We'll explain why that's happening. But you get a chance to come along with us, and you'll see what's happening, right? So please, stay around, stay a while with us, and enjoy the show. And so those movies that we were telling you about, well, I picked them out, and I am going to deliver them to you, so we can add to your list of what to watch this weekend, in case you're one of those people doing whatever you do on the weekend. Maybe part of that weekend you want to catch up on some old movies. Well, I have a few to relay to you, and that's all coming up later on in the show right here on Talk Back Live. We're looking forward to all of that. Thank you so much for being along. And as I said, this is the end. We're at the end of the month. This is May 30th. One more day before it's all over, and then we shift over to the next month, which of course is June. A lot of people are getting ready to shift off and take vacations and things like that. First of all, I want to hope that you had a very, very long and festive weekend. We were celebrating the Memorial Day weekend. And for those of you who had the luxury of having Monday off and having that weekend go by, we hope that you had a good one, and we hope it was safe. We hope it was festive, and we hope it was enjoyable. And here we are, a new week. But the good news, if you happen to have that Monday off, the good news for you is that this is a short week. And tomorrow is Friday. Well, at least where we stand, it's Friday. Some of you guys are already in the Saturday mode, or you guys that live on the other side of the world, on the Saturday mode, right? But yep, it's coming up. And so we hope that you had a wonderful, wonderful time this month of May. So as I said, it's moving along, and it's moving along quick. And we have just one more day, and we just want to remind you for the remainder of what we have of this month of May, we're still celebrating. We continue to do so, and we're celebrating Jewish American Heritage Month. That's all here. And we hope that right throughout this whole month, you had a chance to learn more about what was happening if you're in the Jewish community. And even you don't even have to be Jewish to understand or to check out the Jewish American heritage. For instance, one of the things you might want to do if you're in Washington, D.C., and you don't have to have Jewish American Heritage Month to do that, is go to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. That's the Holocaust Museum, right in Washington, D.C. There's a lot to learn about there, and you could do that. Also, we're celebrating Asian Pacific American Heritage Month as well. To all of my Asian brothers and sisters, we're celebrating you. Maybe you guys have something that you want to talk about, history or whatever, maybe final activities that are taking place for this festive month. Of course, feel free. We'll see you right there. You can let us know. And of course, I will orally tell everyone about it, although people who are watching will be able to see it anyway, but we'll be able to do that for you. And finally, we've got the National Military Appreciation Month, and we put emphasis on appreciation. You know why? Because we really appreciate our men and women of the military. And of course, the final day of Fleet Week was yesterday in New York City. Of course, we were celebrating that as well. And yesterday was the final day. So all of the ships have taken all of the sailors and the Marines or whoever celebrates, right? They take them all away, take them back to their places where they're stationed. And I'm pretty sure they had a good time while they were here. I hope they did. But in the meantime, we're still celebrating Military Appreciation Month. We got this today and all day tomorrow too to keep on going. But you know something, you don't have to celebrate National Military Appreciation Month. It can be done all year round. You see a military man or a military woman, you let them know how much you appreciate them. You can actually tell them that. You see them in uniform, and I'm pretty sure, and I hope that the people who were here for Fleet Week, all the sailors and Marines were here. I hope they had a chance to enjoy New York City, and I hopefully all of you people in New York City who have passed them by, you know, gave them a salute and tell them how much you appreciate them. So that's what we're celebrating all month long. And so we drift over into next month, June, of course. June, the stereotype of June brides. I don't know how many people get married in June, but they say June, and they always equate it with June brides, June marriage. So I don't know. But if you happen to be celebrating one of those days, let's wait till that day comes, all right? But anyway, this is what we have going for us right now. And we're so glad to have you aboard with us. And just in case you're just joining, this is Actual Moment. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, we love to talk back live to you and get you guys involved. I want to say hello to all of you guys who have just chimed in. Hello, Barbara. Barbara out there from Las Vegas, Nevada, one of my favorite places in the world, but you already know that. And it's always great to see you, Barbara. And she says, thank you for all you served. Yes, thank you guys. You know, see, Barbara knows all about it, all the military people. Barbara, I was wondering if there were a lot of military people out there while the holiday was going on, celebrating Memorial Day, right? I'm pretty sure they were all over the place. But Barbara, thank you so much for being along with us. You know, I got to come out. I am due. I am so due to come out in Las Vegas. It's been a long time, and I dream about it. I dream about it all the time. So it's about time for me to get out there and do things. But you know, Barbara keeps me informed of what's happening, and I'm pretty sure CC is still popping as ever. And for those of you, I say CC to Barbara, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Out there in Las Vegas, we call it CC to locals. I don't know, I consider myself a local when I go out there because I'm not like really a tourist, you know, it's like home to me. But CC is Carnival Court, right smack in a dab in the middle of the strip, right at Harris Hotel. And there's the piano bar there and the circular bar at Carnival Court. Yeah, have a good time. CC is still popping. She says it's still rocking. And of course, Barbara, I'm pretty sure you're going to help keep it that way, right? Anyway, as I said, sports coming up in just a few minutes. Brian Camp will be with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports. But here's a little news for you guys. Sorry to say that the General Hospital family is paying tribute to the late Johnny Wachter following his sudden and tragic death. Now, Wachter was shot and killed in Los Angeles, California last Saturday evening after seeing three men trying to steal a catalytic, a converter from his car. And following the tragic news, General Hospital, the long-running soap opera on which he starred in 2 years, actually 2 years, described him as truly one of a kind and a pleasant person to work with day after day after day. And Wachter was only 37 years old. And if there's one thing that Dwayne Wade is known for, is looking for the best while being prepared for, I mean, anything coming his way, as a matter of fact, right? And the NISPA Basketball Hall of Fame will be front and center. He's going to be front and center doing his newest venture as a game analyst on NBC Sports, doing the Team USA men's basketball games at the 2024 Summer Olympics. That's happening in Paris, you know. And Wade is going to be joined by Noah Eagle, who will be head of the play-by-play duties for the Team USA men's and women's basketball games, and make his NBC Olympic debut in Paris. And LaChina Robinson, who will be working there, she'll be working there, and she'll work her third Olympic assignment for the NBC Sports, and that will be the U.S. Women's Olympic basketball team games, and she'll be the analyst. And the analyst, Kurth Burke and Zoa Stevenson, will serve as sideline reporters. So there's a lot to look forward. And speaking of sports, I'm going to let Brian Camp take over and talk about that, because here he is with the latest developments in the world of sports. And again, if you have any questions for Brian, sports related, please ask him. He's a nice guy, and he will deliver all of those answers for you. If he doesn't have the answers, he'll get them, I think. Am I right about that?
Good evening. Yes, I didn't hear about the. I don't know if this is true, if it's breaking news or this happened today, about TNT losing the basketball contract to NBC. I know that they're in the midst of everything, changing networks. And we know ESPN, and who's the parent station of ABC of Walt Disney, will still be doing the games. But presently, TNT was also have the basketball package. But there's been talk that NBC will be taking over from TNT, which has a lot to do with Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal, who's been doing the TNT games for over 35 years. So I don't know if that change occurred, but this is news to me about Dwayne Wade was hired to do the NBC Olympic Games.
Yeah.
That's news to me. It's been a busy day. I didn't get around to it. I didn't hear nothing about it just yet. But we'll see what happens. You know, there's a lot at stake that's going to be at stake with this big contract. So, you know, it's been a wild and crazy day, as we all know. But good evening to you all. Hope all is well. I mean, you wanted to say something right quick or what?
Well, I want to, you know, that's news to me, what you just told me about this takeover. I didn't hear about that at all.
Yes. It was
everybody a snap, but I haven't heard about it. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything, but there's been talks that NBC is this close of recapturing the NBA, coming back to NBC, along with there'll be, if it's true, ABC, ESPN will be doing the basketball games. We don't know yet, so I have to see.
That's true, because NBC also have Peacock. So yeah. So wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. I'll follow up on that. But good evening to you all out there who's out there listening worldwide, globally, nationally, and locally. I'm here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's 74 degrees out here. It's been a wonderful week, hot days as well too. So good evening to all. Hope all is well. And it's been a crazy day today, as we all know, especially what's been happening in New York City with this trial. And but not here to celebrate. You know, I'm not here to celebrate what happened. It's sad because this is a black eye to the greatest country in the world for this to happen. I know there's some people that's celebrating. We got to be careful how we celebrate somebody's demise, even though that person has been awful to others and really vicious towards others. We as people got to be careful of how we celebrate, because we don't want nobody to do that to us. And let's see what happens. But 34 counts. It's a lot of counts. And 34 consecutive counts. That's unbelievably crazy. And he still got 3 more trials to go. So I take my stand on politics. I trust no man. I trust no political party, Republicans, Democrats, or independents. Okay? They all use us. They all come to our churches. They all want to campaign. You don't see them for 3.5 years, and then 6 months before the election comes, they want to talk. But the best therapy is sports, and I'm going to give you sports. In the NFL, 2 women are suing kicker Brandon McManus and the Jacksonville Jaguars, allegedly that McManus sexually assaulted them during the team's overseas flight to London last year. Now, the 2 women identified as Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2 in the lawsuit accused McManus of rubbing himself against them and grinding against them. I don't mean to get graphic, but this is what has been said. They are seeking an excess of $1 million are demanded in a jury trial. $1 million, yes. Major League Baseball, umpire Angel Hernandez is retiring effective immediately, ending a controversial 3 decades long career that in recent years turned Hernandez into unexpected debates and a punching bag among fans on social media. Yeah, Hernandez has been that kind of guy, that kind of umpire. Nobody likes him with his balls and strikes, but Hernandez reached an agreement with Major League Baseball and will leave after umpiring thousands of games since his debut in 1991. His last game was on May 9th and was replaced by Lance Barksdale's crew by Jacob Metz. Now, he sued Major League Baseball in 2017. Allegedly, the league had engaged in a racial discrimination. I remember that. The lawsuit was thrown out by a district court judge, a decision upheld by an appeals court last year. Hernandez is well liked among umpires, though, among his fellow brethren. However, players and fans, they feel differently. Yes, they do. In the NBA, well, we're almost at the finals. We almost had Boston versus Dallas, but not quite. Minnesota Timberwolves will gonna again tonight try to save their season as they won the last game in Game 4. Now they're gonna try to win Game 5 to take this game back to Dallas and see what they could do there. But it's 3 games to 1. The game starts tonight. I believe that game is on TNT as well too. So we're gonna see. Sad news in the world of sports of basketball. Hall of Famer Bill Walton, 2-time champion, and UCLA alumni, also 2 times champion in the NBA as well, has died at the age of 71 years old after a prolonged battle with cancer. He was the NBA's MVP in 1977-78 season and was a member of the league's 50th and 75th anniversary teams. Walton was enshrined into Basketball Hall of Fame in 1993. Bill Walton was a real character. He was really a player who loved people. He loved his fellow brothers. He loved his fellow teammates. And, sometimes he'll just talk life instead of basketball. And sometimes he'll just ask a player who's much younger than him about their thoughts about the game, So he was just an all-around guy. Sometimes he was controversial, but he was really overall a great guy. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was close to him, expressed his warm well wishes to his family as well. So keep the prayers of the Walton family. This day in sports, May 30th, Walter Johnson, 1927. Walter Johnson records 110th and final shutout, the most in Major League Baseball history. 1932, New York Yankees dedicate a plaque to Miller Huggins. 1936, Philadelphia Phillies Jim Bivin retires Babe Ruth on an infield grounder in Babe Ruth's final at bat. 1942, Satchel Paige pitches 5 innings to defeat Dizzy Dean's All-Stars 8-1. 1956, Mickey Mantle missed by 18 inches hitting off his first home run out of Yankee Stadium. That means he completely hit it out, missed it by 18 inches. And in the old Yankee Stadium, that was very hard to do. 1967, New York Yankees Whitey Ford, nearing 41, announces his retirement from Major League Baseball. 1970, Major League Baseball All-Star voting is returned to the fans. Yes. 1970, Detroit Tigers Al Kaline collides with another player and swallow his tongue. Ugh. Yeah. He hit him so hard as he swallowed his tongue. Al Kaline did that in 1970. 1971, Willie Mays hits his 638th career home run, sets a National League record of 1,950 runs scored. 1981, LA Dodgers are the quickest to get 1 million attendance in a season in only 22 games. He did that in 22 games. 1983, American League President Lee McPhail suspends George Steinbrenner for a week of criticism the umpire. Yeah, that sounds like old George. And in 1986, Barry Bonds makes his Major League debut for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Birthdays on this day, 1943, happy birthday to the late Gale Sayers, College and Pro Football Hall of Famer, was born in Wichita, Kansas. 1965, Billy Donovan Jr., NBA coach of OKC and College Florida University, was born in Rockville Center, New York. And happy birthday to 1972, to Manny Ramirez, Major League Baseball outfielder, born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. I also want to give another another thing to say. There's some rumblings going on in social media, which I got caught up in. I don't know why I get caught up in, but I need to take a break from social media. Major League Baseball announced that the Negro League statistics will be added on. Now, the grumblings is that Josh Gibson, who's known as the Black Babe Ruth, who some say hit 800 home runs, has now surpassed Ty Cobb for the greatest batting average of all time. As you know, Major League Baseball has been segregated up until 1947 when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. Well, there's a lot of people who still live in the past who still thinks, baseball should be segregated, let's call it like we see it. And they're not too happy with that. He's also passed Babe Ruth for on-base percentage, among other stats as well, too. And it's just, after seeing what happened today, And what's going on in this world, there's some people that will not embrace it. There's some people that will just be very stale about it. Of course, I got in the middle of it. I don't know how it got over to basketball when we talk about the old Negro League, but it's just an unfortunate thing that there's people that still living in the past. Now, if you want to blame somebody, you need to blame the first commissioner of baseball, Kensaw Landers, who fought like hell to keep blacks and people of color out of Major League Baseball, along with Jim Crow, as we all know who Jim Crow was. And it was an unfortunate thing. It's history. It's American history. And I expressed this on social media. I had probably 1,000 people attacking me all at one time. I had a little help that came in, but I could hold my own. I know my history. I know my sports. You damn right. You damn right I held my own. And I'm going to feel how I feel and say what I say. No matter.
Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier.
Yeah. I'm not a racist. I defended Caitlin Clark. I defended her. There's a lot of haters out there. So there's on both sides. Caitlin Clark.
I read that story too about the Negro baseball.
Yeah,
it's time for advancements. It's time for history. Everybody should know each. It's a good. It would be a nice thing if everyone knew each other's history, so we could share notes. I mentioned earlier in the show, all this month, we're celebrating Jewish Heritage American Month. So, this is the end of the month. Also, Asian Pacific Heritage Month. And I put those out there because I would like everyone to celebrate this. These holidays come around, get to know each other.
Yeah.
A cultural, I read up on different cultures and see how, where people come from, see how it relates to mine, notes and things like that. I think it's a fascinating thing. And if you're a history buff, that's a great thing to do. So,
and the thing is, this is the greatest country on the planet. Every question opportunity, why can't we all share the pie? The Europeans came over in the early 1900s, fighting the Italians. The Polish people came over. They was all resented, but they settled in. Now we don't want the Mexicans. Now we don't want other ethnic groups. We don't like the Russians, but they all come here. That's why it's called the United States.
Yeah.
Everybody gets united.
Yeah.
All right. This is not a history lesson. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I had to report that the Negro League is now their stats will be connected to Major League Baseball. And some of y'all, many of y'all that don't like it, too bad. It's here to stay, and you're just going to have to live with it.
It's bound to come out eventually anyway.
Exactly.
Come out. There's a lot of news that we don't know about. A lot of things that all of us don't know about is going to come out to the surface because it's been put on the back burner for so long, and eventually it surfaces. And it's good for everybody to know about it before you attack it. Read about it and learn and find out. You don't have to. No one has to accept anything. You don't have to like it, but don't knock it until, you actually know something about it. That's what I say. Read. Right. Got a question for you.
Yes.
How does one swallow their tongue?
That's a good question. I don't know how that happened. I could assume the way it was written that they was going for a fly ball. This is Al Kaline. Yeah, this is Al Kaline. He collides with another player. It could have knocked him in the throat. It could have knocked him. Apparently it was a bad collision.
Yeah.
Hit him so hard that his tongue might have went down his throat.
Did they ever do surgery on it? Because that's the first time I heard anything like that. Did they ever eventually?
I don't.
That's not how he died.
No, that's not how he died. No.
I was wondering. Oh, I couldn't even, thinking about that, it kind of gives me the willies, to have your tongue like knocked in the back of your throat.
I don't think it detached or anything like that. It just was hit so hard his tongue went all the way back in his throat. And they had to get it out of him or something so he won't choke to death. I don't know. I got to read up on it.
And you talked about Caitlin Clark. She's kind of getting there. She's trying to get the feel of the WNBA now.
Yes, look, let me say this about Caitlin Clark. She got a lot of hype, and deservedly so, because she's a very great player. When she came into the league, the WNBA, these are not girls that she's playing against. These are grown women, just like with the men's.
Yeah.
If you're a star player in college, you're playing against boys. When you come into the big leagues in the NBA, you're playing against grown men who's twice your size and strength. Caitlin Clark is going through that. She's showing signs of her greatness now. They finally won a game this week, so just give her time. We can't hate. We can't hate at all. If I know that she's labeled as the great white hope, but you know what? So what? If she is, let her be. You know why? Because more fans are coming back to the WNBA, and when that happens, ratings go up, advertisements go up, endorsements go up, everybody gets paid.
Hey, listen, Caitlin Clark, she already has a thing going on with Wilson.
There you go.
They're gonna have she's teamed up with Wilson Sporting Goods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna have her own basketball collection.
There you go.
But hey, she's getting there.
Can't hit on nobody's success, on nobody's hustle.
You can't beat her.
That's right. So leave her alone.
I think that's what I say. Leave her alone. And while we're talking about leave the women alone, leave Taylor Swift alone too. Stop bothering. Stop hating.
Support her man by coming to football games.
Yeah.
So be it.
Yeah.
Don't hate me. She's cheering for her man. Leave her alone.
Right. That's right. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every man should have a woman like Taylor Swift. Nice, compassionate, and helps take care of the relationship. Both people, and he looks like a happy camper too.
Yeah. For her to leave on a day off or a couple of days off for her tour.
Yeah.
To come back to the States to see her man play.
Yeah.
Can't hate love.
No. Hey, listen, the thing I like about it is they support each other. He goes to her concerts and she goes to his games.
And he went to her concert on a bye week from his team.
Yeah.
Team had the week off, got on a flight. I forgot what country she went to.
Yeah.
He supported his girl, his chick. So
I hope he didn't do all that yelling. You have the right to fight for your. I remember that when he won that Super Bowl, he started yelling, "You have the right to fight," or what was it? You have the right to fight for your party, or whatever it was. However that song goes.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, we'll catch you back here tomorrow morning. Yeah.
50-50. I'm going to send the stuff over anyway. I'm going to try to get on. Might want to find some more research to give, but right now it's 50-50.
Okay. Well, just keep me abreast, and we'll see what's happening.
Okay.
And we hope that it's the 50 that you be here. Hopefully, we'll see.
I'll try my best for sure.
You let me know. Whatever. You let me know. All right. Okay. Okay. We'll catch you then. Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Sports update. Yeah, he's here each week at this time. And of course, if you have any questions, you didn't get a chance to ask any questions, feel free, and we could still get those questions to him. He'll know all about the sports. Sports is a thing that's going all over the place, and different cities are getting their franchises in. And it was about time, since Barbara's out there, she already knows about time. They have the baseball team out there, the football team out there. And the good thing about having sports franchises in Las Vegas, you can bet on them. You can't bet anyplace else. but in Las Vegas, you can bet. You can bet. Hey, Mary, how are you? Welcome aboard. Mary is out there, Mary Reed out of Brooklyn, New York. We have Barbara from Las Vegas, Nevada, and the rest of you who are out there. We're all over the world. And if you're just joining us, Mary said she had technical difficulties. It looked like you overcame it, right? You look okay now. You're here, so it couldn't be that bad. We're so glad to have you out here, but just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We're talking back live to you. And we're going to be here until the top of the hour. And we hope that you stay with us because there's a lot to talk about too. And I think at this time, it's time to go back in time. On this day in history, in 1949, WRTV-TV, that's channel 6 in Indianapolis, Indiana, ABC station began broadcasting. On this day in history in 1964, the Beatles' Love Me Do, one of my favorite Beatles songs, goes #1 in the United States. In 1965, Vivian Malone is the first Black to graduate from the University of Alabama. In 1967, American motorcyclist Evel Knievel, his motorcycle jumped over 16 automobiles in Gardena, California. That's Gardena, California. I'm sorry. In 1973, George Harrison releases his 4th studio album, Living in the Material World in the USA. In 1989, Margaret Ray pleads guilty to breaking into David Letterman's house. What a psycho she was. Remember that story? That was scary too. In 1997, Betty Shabazz, the widow of Malcolm X, was set on fire by her grandson, who was 12 years old. And that was an accident, by the way. On this day in history in 1908, Mel Blanc, American voiceover actor, comedian, best known for his Looney Tune and Merry Melodies tunes, his cartoons, who did the voiceover of Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig, and many others, was born in San Francisco, California. He died in 1989. Musician Benny Goodman was born on this day in 1909 in Chicago, Illinois. He died June 13th in 1986 at the age of 77 years old. On this day in history in 1927, actor Clint Walker, who played Cheyenne, those of you who are baby boomers like me remember Cheyenne in the Western. He was born in Hartford, Illinois, and he died 2018. On this day in history in 1933, disc jockey Sid Mark, who played the sounds of Sinatra, was born in Camden, New Jersey. He died in 2022. And on this day in history in 1940, actor David Aykroyd, that's Aykroyd, I'm sorry, from Saturday Night Live, David Aykroyd. It should be Dan Aykroyd, actually. He got his David here, I don't know. Anyway, it could be David. Could be another Aykroyd. Anyway, he was born Orange, New Jersey. He's 84 years old, so no, that's not Dan Aykroyd. In 1944, actress Meredith McRae from Petticoat Junction and My Three Sons was born in Houston, Texas. She died in 2000. In 1958, actor Ted McGinley from The Love Boat and Married with Children. Also, he played on Dynasty. He was born in Newport Beach, California. He's 66 years old today. In 1961, actor Ralph Carter, who played Michael on Good Times, was born in New York City. He's 63. Country singer Wynonna Judd was born on this day in 1964 in Ashland, Kentucky. She's 60 years old today. Actress, singer Idina Menzel was born on this day in 1971. She was born in Queens, New York. She's 53 years old today. And if you remember this year, if you were born on this year, if you're still around, back in 1536, England's Henry VIII marries Jane Seymour. Now, that's not the actress Jane Seymour. This is another Jane Seymour, unless, of course, the actress Jane Seymour had been around longer than I think she did. Anyway, it was his third wife. In 1920, actor Frederick March marries actress Florence Eldridge. In 1966, Dolly Parton weds Carl Dean in Ringgold, Georgia. In 1992, singer Paul Simon weds rock singer and songwriter Edie Brickell. In 1999, actor Richard Dreyfuss weds accountant Janelle Lacey in Los Angeles, California. In 2008, actor Charlie Sheen weds socialite. Her name was Brooke Muller in Los Angeles, California. And finally, 1986, jazz saxophonist Hank Mobley dies from pneumonia at the age of 55 years old. And that's what's happening on this day in history. If you know anything that's happening on this day in history and you just happen to know it's true, please let us know. And I depend on you to do it. Type it in, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. And I can share it with others, but everybody who's in the room now already knows because they'll see it as well. Again, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're going to be with you until the top of the hour. We've got about 15 more minutes to go on the show. And if you happen to be online, still watching the show, share the last 15 minutes with some friends, right? If you're watching us on Facebook, tag them and let them know that we're here. You know, you tag them, they'll see your tag, and of course they'll see it, they'll know it's from you, they'll click onto the tag and they'll bring them right to us. 15 minutes, that's all we have left. Share it with them. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel as usual. And of course, you can cut and paste the link and share it with your friends and give them that 15 minutes that we have left so they can see us. And if you're watching us on Instagram, well, you can do the same thing, only that you don't have to do much more than that because there's nothing to do except for tell your family and friends about it and keep the word percolating so they'll know what's happening. Okay? Okay. Okay. I said that. And I'm going to another element right now because a lot of you may want to get in touch with me, and I would love you to do that. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I have an email address and a telephone number, and if you'd be so kind to take it down and get in touch with me because you may have something to say, right? My email address, I'll give you that first. How about that? Email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, when you get in contact with us through one of those sources, you may want to get in contact with us for a certain reason. Maybe you want to talk about the show. Maybe you want to critique the show. Maybe you have ideas you want to tell me about the show. Maybe you want a new host on the show. I don't know if I could help you with that. Maybe other things. You have a birthday coming up, a bar mitzvah, something you want us to talk about. Hey, we're free here. You know, we're a free spirit conglomerate here. So if you have any of that, just keep the information at hand. And of course, you're going to keep all the information in your phone, right? Because no one uses a Rolodex anymore, you know. Keep it with you at all times. And so do that. Just keep that. So let me give you the email address once again. It's Frank Allan Prod. Remember to spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N, all right? That's a very important thing to talk about because if there's about a few ways you could spell Allan, and you want to get it right. So my way of spelling it is A-L-L-A-N. You know, some people put E-N or Y-N, you know, and they said, I emailed you, but I never got through. Well, incorrect spelling, that's what will happen. A-L-L-A-N, Frank Allan Prod. And Prod is P-R-O-D, that's short for production. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, don't get me wrong when I say that, because this is a good city. New York City is where we're broadcasting from. It's a good city. But it was hectic. It's been hectic for a long time. It's hectic. We've got so many things going on here. But people who visit here, they know that, and they come in here and they weather the storm. All right, because you already heard, we had New York City, right in the heart of New York City. You're way downtown in New York City. Of course, you heard about the trial that's been taking place and has been taking place for the past 6 weeks here in New York City, the Donald Trump trial, which today they found him guilty on 34 counts. There were 34 convictions, yeah, there were 34 counts, and he was convicted on all 34 counts. And as Brian said earlier, this is nothing to celebrate about. These things happen. It happened in our country. It shouldn't happen in our country. These things like this, this is the first time we all get involved in something like this. First time in our country this has happened. And a lot of people have taken it in stride. All right, a lot of people, you know, from the news people to regular people, you know, people who protest. There's been peace. If there have been any protests at all, thank God there've been peaceful protests. But downtown in Manhattan, that's what was going on. And so he's got a sentence coming up. There's a sentence here which is set for July 11th. Of course, that's not going to be too far away. And when I looked at my calendar, I happen to know that will happen on a Thursday. So when we do the show on that Thursday night, we'll have something to talk about. We'll bring all of that information that you can talk about. But yeah, this is what happened. And like I said, you know, there's more to come. Let's see, the judge, I have to say, in my opinion, was a very, I guess, very patient judge, All right, because there's so many things going on. Of course, as you already know, Donald Trump, he had a gag order placed on him for violating, and how many violations that he had with that gag order? 10 violations in that gag order. Now, I don't know, none of us knew when the news came out, none of us knew what it was going to be. We don't know. We're not in the court. Even people who were in that court, like some of the people, the news reporters, and all of those people were in that court. No one knew. We already knew there was going to be some kind of verdict when it was announced, but we didn't know the outcome until it was read off. And it should have been that way anyway. You know, you didn't want a lot of chaotic things going on. And when the verdict was read, I was just keeping my fingers crossed that everyone would be safe when they walk out of that courtroom onto the street, you know, that everybody would be safe. And I just pray for all of the people who were involved in that, all of the 12 members of the jury, the standby jurors, the judge and their families, and everyone who were involved in that. I keep my fingers crossed for them, pray for them that they're all safe and everything's going to be okay, because we don't know what's going to happen as time goes on. This is just like the beginning. There's more trials that he's going to be facing and a lot of things that are happening. So, you know, just like Brian said, it's one of those things that, you know, we're here in this country, and we don't want the thing. Just imagine if it happened to you. You know, you're not going to want anyone saying or glorifying the fact that, oh, you know something, this guy's going to go to jail. Oh, they should bury him under the jail. You know, you don't want to glorify any of that. You know, you just want to sit back and relax, and in due time, whatever happens, happens. But the only thing that I'm concerned about is getting the country back on track, back to normal, and people enjoying each other, because I love traveling. And I don't want to have to go out traveling and then going to the places that I usually love and going there and finding out, oh, you know, you're not welcome here anymore. You know, why? I've been coming here for years. You know, you get the idea. I don't want any of those changes to happen. I want things to be better for everybody, you know, as we move along, because it is the greatest country in the world. I live here. I was born and raised here. And And I'm not going anywhere. Just want everybody to know. A lot of people say, you know something, I'm going to move over to another country. I'm going to Canada. You know, I don't want to hear about this. You know, you got to be a strong person. You got to be a strong American, you know. And so we hope for the best. Now, I have movies that all of you may like. I'm going to talk to you about those because I pick out these movies each week. Each week, I go to Turner Classic Movies and pick out movies that you may enjoy for your weekend. Now, a lot of people do a lot of things on weekends, and one of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some movies. So I have a few that I think you're going to like. All right. So I'm going to get started right away. Let's go back to 1931. Here's a great black and white movie I love so much. And Brian, if you're out there listening, here's another James Cagney movie from 1931 called The Public Enemy. James Cagney, Jean Harlow, and Mae Clarke. And that's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's coming up on Friday. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. So every time I give you movies and give you the time, everything is Eastern. So I say Eastern time so you can act accordingly just in case you're in another time zone. Brian mentioned that Gail Sayers is celebrating, the late Gail Sayers is celebrating her birthday. And to celebrate and commemorate that birthday, here's a movie that you're going to like called Brian's Song, 1971, with James Caan, who played Brian Piccolo, and Billy D. Williams, who played Gail Sayers. And of course, Jack Walden. That's a great movie. I love that movie. It's a 1971 movie. It's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can check that out Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you'll get your popcorn, put the popcorn in the microwave and sit back and relax and enjoy it. That's called Brian's Song. Going back in time, history, like jazz? Well, here's a movie that I'm going to recommend too, because this goes back in history, even though it was done in 1977. It's called Scott Joplin. Now, those of you who don't know Scott Joplin, he's an innovator of jazz, and it's played by Billy D. Williams. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. Also, Clifton Davis is on the movie along with Margaret Avery, and that's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's on Saturday at 1 a.m. So maybe you're not up that late. Maybe it's too early for you, whatever it is, you're asleep, you're catching Z's. You could still DVR these movies and watch them later at your own time convenience. You know, you don't have to watch them in real time. You can DVR them and watch them later, okay? So that's Scott Joplin. That's a good one. And here's the original A Star is Born, 1937, with Janet Gaynor and Frederick March. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's Sunday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern, right? All right. Day of rest, church. You don't want to go to church on Sunday, or you're going to church on Sunday, right? All right. And you're not going to be home at that time. DVR it. DVR the movie and watch it when you get back from church. Right? That's called A Star is Born. Now, let me tell you, go to Turner Classic Movies because there may be other movies that I didn't mention, not that because I don't like them, it's only because these are my picks of the week. There may be other movies that you may like. You can jot them down and look at them, watch them, DVR them, and watch them at your own time convenience. You know, it's fun to go there. That's why I always send you to Turner Classic Movies when I read off the ones that I pick out for you, because there may be others. Also, while you're there on demand, there are a lot of great movies, free movies you can watch from A to Z, and movies that you haven't seen in a long time, movies that, of course, you'll probably jog your memory. They're all right there from A to Z. And then while you're there on demand, there are those movies that you can pay for, what they call pay-per-view movies, movies that are in the theater right now, and movies that were not there, were there not too long ago. They're all there. You know, see what you can pick up. Of course, there are a lot of great sporting events there you can watch, and children's programs and documentaries and Lifetime movies and network movies. You like Lifetime movies? See what you can find. It's all right there. Let me give you those movies once again. Public Enemy, The Public Enemy, James Cagney, Jean Harlow, Mae Clarke. That's Turner Classic Movie. That's Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Brian's Song with James Caan, Billy D. Williams, and Jack Walden. That's Turner Classic Movies Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Scott Joplin with Billy D. Williams, Clifton Davis, and Margaret Avery, Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 1 a.m. Eastern. And A Star is Born with Janet Gaynor and Frederick March. Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern. It's all right there in Turner Classic Movies. I hope you get a chance to enjoy them. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, but this time for the coffee hour. Hopefully Brian Camp will be with us. If not, we'll cover it all. And the wonderful world of sports on Sports Update. We'll have all of that for you, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, make it a point to be back here next week too. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. And we look forward to seeing you. Brian will be here for the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's our Sports Update. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have yourself a wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.